Right, so this is podcast number 3.
2.
2.
You idiot.
Shall we do that again? We Ain't No Hippies, podcast number 2.
Not 3.
Not 3. We're going to talk about money this week, because we always get asked, what do you do? What do you do?
It's the first question people ask when they meet us.
Yeah. And they're sadly not talking about our hobbies or interests.
No.
They're always referring to money. But over the last week, we've been busy doing lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
We had our trailer picked up.
Which was a very sad moment.
It was. Our 2 motorbikes in the back. We were in northern Spain then. We're now on the east coast of Spain. Mm-hmm. So that's gone.
That was quite easy. Quite easily done.
That was via shipley.com. Quite swiftly picked up and dealt with. We organised our SIM cards, our Spanish telephone numbers.
Mm-hmm. The company we used was called Spain, Sir.
simcard.spainsir.com.
Really easy to use, really easy to navigate their website, and we just got them delivered to a local post office.
Correos.
No, Correos. Yeah, which was really easy to do and really easy to collect. So we went to collect them when it was the siesta time, so the post office was empty, so we didn't have to wait in any queues, which was great.
Just the mad dogs and Englishmen period of time.
It's me and Floyd, basically.
Yes, that was you and Floyd waiting outside. So you just put in the post office address and it gets sent there. You should go and show your passport so they know it's you. So it's not quite just the post office address. I found out how to do it by going on, I just Googled it, and there's someone's done a big Wikipedia article on how to get post delivered to different European countries using the Post Restante service. So just Google it. It's really We'll
really
put
quite
it in the
easy.
link at the bottom. So we've done that. We've been parked up on the East Coast for a few days because we were waiting for that to be delivered, and then we've ordered some LPG fittings,
Which we completely forgot to order before we left.
Well, it was on my eternal list to do, and it never got down to that point. And because our vehicle is American,
That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
going from American to UK to Spanish or to French or whatever, it was a stretch too far for their caravan and camping shops here, which are well appointed.
Yeah. So we used, was it McRent?
McRent
Was the company that we went to, and they had a really fantastic little outlet bit of.
It wasn't little.
No, I didn't go in. I stayed out with Floyd, but
It was big. They had hoses, they had window lights, they had, you could buy all of the water, to put all your water in for fitting out vans. If you fitted out a van here, it would be much easier. You could drive there with an empty van, park in their car park, and just go in every day and fit it out so quickly and so efficiently. You'd save so much money on shipping parts from all over the place, finding the right fittings. Everything was there, except obviously our LPG fittings. They didn't have many LPG fittings because I don't think it's super common in this country yet. But the people in there were really helpful. There was multiple languages spoken, so I think I was speaking to a Spanish lady who spoke really good English, but also a Dutch guy who was more familiar with the LPG side of things. So, because they're a Europe-wide company, they're quite used to multiple languages being spoken, so it was really easy. So I'd recommend them highly. So we've been parked up on an air, which is a nice free air. No services, but it's a nice spot on the coast.
I think in the height of summer, it seems to be like a bit of a destination for people with holiday homes who own the holiday homes rather than holiday lets. And I think they have things like bars and toilets on the beach.
Yeah, they do have a tapas bar here usually.
Yeah, this time of year,
Nothing.
No tapas.
It's no tapas. But it's really nice. But it is amazing seeing how many properties are empty and locked up throughout this period.
Really beautiful properties as well.
Mm.
Though I did see, I guess they were two land keepers fishing around in a swimming pool when I was walking with Floyd the other day.
Yeah, you can see the swimming pools are starting to be filtered and filled up, I guess, in time for...
Easter holidays are coming up.
Is it? It must be.
They must be.
It's mid-March now.
I don't know when Easter is.
Soon, I guess. It's always around this time. But parking on the air, we've been parked around some really interesting people. You get the most common is the big white motorhome folk, but we've been parked next to a Chevy.
Really cool Chevy.
Really cool Chevy, 3.5 litre V8 Chevy.
From Denmark.
Yeah, they've got air conditioning on the top and everything, but they don't have solar panels, or so we've seen them take themselves off this morning to just run the engine for a bit, to power up for a few days. We've also been next to a converted German ambulance. Owned
by a Belgian couple.
Who speaks amazing English, technical English.
Yeah, I think that's from his experience working with ships and the dockyards.
Yeah, he's dock master, is that the right term? So I guess he's got to be like that. But he's towing a trailer, which is, he's got his motorbike in, but is also their shower room and toilet. So their van itself, the converted ambulance, only has like bed and cooking facilities.
It does have a toilet in it though as well. I was talking to the lady and she said they've got a toilet in there too. Just a little cassette one for use, if they need to go at night.
I see.
So
I didn't know that.
That's really cool.
But he's fitted out this trailer, so it's got all the water, it's got the generator on the front. The toilet's got I want to say maciator. That's not how you pronounce it, but it chops up all
macerator.
I think that sounds better. So it chops up all your solids.
Yes, solids.
And so he can dump his waste a lot easier. It's also got a shower.
Yeah.
It's a real kind of loosey-goosey kind of trailer. You know, the water of the shower will just run out the back, but when you're out in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't matter. But that's a cool setup. They're nice people. They gave us a baguette.
I tried Spanish champagne for the first time, courtesy of them.
Yeah, you got
delicious.
Really drunk quickly on that. I think you passed out instantly.
Shut up. I had to cook afterwards, so I had to limit myself. I didn't know what I cooked, but it was nice.
But we discovered and learned the difference between camping and parking in Spain.
Yes.
We were kind of vaguely aware of it, but not massively on it. But the Spanish police are on it. So the difference is roughly, and don't take this as a direct rule of thumb, there are more nuances to it. But if you're parking, you can't have your side windows open or your door open or furniture out.
Or steps. Going down.
But you can have the roof light open.
You can't have your stabilisers down either.
No.
That's another one. If you need stabilisers for your van.
Yeah. Or ramps, levelers. But you can have wheel chocks if you're on a hill or something. And you're allowed to sleep in it. So you can park anywhere as long as you're within a regular authorised parking area. But if you're deemed to be doing any of the other, with your windows open or the such like, you are camping and you will be fined. Also,
you need to make sure you look out for parking restrictions in particular parking spaces. So a lot of them, they'll say no parking, between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. or something along those lines, which is quite clear.
Yeah.
You know, you'll probably get a knock on the door if you are there in that particular location overnight.
Yeah. But then it works the other way. So where we parked in the main town a couple of days ago when we dropped into the post office, the area we parked was for motorhomes only. So they're not discriminating against it, but you've got to be really vigilant and on.
Yeah.
Take time to read the signs.
Yeah. Either way, it's still a lot better than trying to park it in the UK for a night. You've just for one night.
So, yeah.
It's amazing.
But we've been using a couple of apps, haven't we? We've been using
Camper Contact's been the main one we've been using, but we've also downloaded
Park 4. We've
Park
written
4
it down.
Night.
Park 4 Night. The number 4. Park number 4 Night. Which I think is free. I haven't looked at it properly yet.
Is that the one that's got the wild camp locations?
It's got wild camping spots, because Camper Contact doesn't. Camper Contact is about £6 a year, but it just gives you the airs, but it also tells you all the services that it has, whether you can dump waste, get water.
It's quite well established as well, so there's some really good regular updates and reviews that people leave. So there was one that we looked at, and we've seen that they've been there, I think just the day before that we were looking at it.
Yeah.
And they'd commented about how they'd got broken into, and they'd talked to someone else who'd been broken into. So we were like, yeah, okay, maybe let's not go there.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you start talking to people in the airs, you kind of find areas aren't good. Like we were surprised to learn Barcelona isn't good for motorhomes.
Which is a shame.
Such is life. So we'll probably avoid that, sadly, given it's one of the best cities in the world, which is my official stance on that. So we look forward to using the Park 4 Night and finding good wild camping locations.
Yeah.
It just takes the stress and strain off driving around, and the fuel cost of driving around, looking at every little nook and down each side street looking for somewhere to park. And it's nice being around other people sometimes as well at night. Particularly
for a security point of view as well during the daytime. So yesterday I got really excited when I saw that KTM van driving around. I was like, oh, KTM, oh my gosh, they might have motorbikes. But then you were like, actually, that's a bit weird, they're just driving around.
Are they doing a scout?
And we felt okay leaving the van during the day because we knew that there were people still in their motorhomes, sitting outside their motorhomes. That would, probably, hopefully stop people if they tried to break into our van.
Well, at least, shout at them.
I don't know, I think that Belgian guy would give them a run for their money.
I think he would. I think he would sort them properly out. So we've been settling into more of a routine for work and leisure. With Floyd the puppy, which has been a bit of a faff trying to do this podcast. We tried it last night and tried to do it at the time he usually settles down to sleep, because otherwise he's knocking cameras. He's becoming quite a vocal puppy.
Yeah.
I think we set up and we sat here for almost an hour trying to calm him down, and that didn't work. So we're trying to get into this routine, and what we found is I work at night, so about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, when you and Floyd are starting to sleep.
The end of my day.
That's when I start working. I'll work till 2 or 4 in the morning or something, and then the next opportunity I get to work is you'll go out in the afternoon for a walk with Floyd for a couple of hours, and then I'll sit down when it's quiet and work then on the laptop.
I think you have a snooze though. I think that's what you really
do. I do. It's often the heat of the sun.
The 4 beers you've had.
I might have had a beer. So 4 beers. I don't think I've drunk 4 beers in a row yet.
Define a row.
Define a beer. So we're kind of settling into that routine, which is quite important for everyone, because I'm also getting up early in the morning to go for a walk with him as well. So then it gives you a chance to put the bed away, and when I get back, breakfast is ready.
Domestic bliss.
Well, yeah, it's all a balance, isn't it? It's about finding that balance and not just turning into a pit of constant snoozing and sleeping, which it could easily happen.
It could very easily become that.
Especially with this kind of wind, where you go out for a walk and the sun tires you. So it's kind of important to have that routine if you're in this full-time van, having to work still.
It's important as well that Floyd gets those walks in.
It's important for all of us that he gets those walks in.
It's quite good though. So we left him in here for an hour and a half the other day, where we did a little photo shoot, and
we say an hour and a half,
but
I think it was more. I think it was nearer 2 hours. We went off and did the photo shoot for your Diamonds and Rust jewellery stuff.
I think if anyone's thinking of having a dog or a puppy, regardless of the breed, you need to make sure that they're mentally, if you're having them in the van, making sure they're usually mentally stimulated enough, because I don't think he tried to chew on anything.
He tries to chew on us because he's teething, but you just put something else in front of him and then he'd chew on that. He'd chew through everything, I think, if you let him. But being in the small space actually is more advantageous with having a puppy, because you can stop those kind of traits really quickly and repeatedly. You don't have to have him in a cage. You don't have to put a muzzle on him. Now that might just be down to the border collie breed or the particular personality of dog we've got, but we're finding we have to use less of those techniques that people use in houses.
Yeah, I mean, I think also, I'm not saying that if you live in a house you go to work 9 to 5 kind of thing, but the stat, because I've sort of joined some border collie Facebook groups and things, and that is the kind of standard is, oh, I've got this cage, my dog goes in it for 8 hours a day, and then I come home. I think for that kind of lifestyle, that's the solution, because otherwise, yeah, it would go and just eat everything. But we're able to bypass that, because we are able to be around him, literally 24/7.
Yeah, we won't go into our opinion yet on.
We can do a puppy podcast.
We'll do a puppy podcast on
van pup.
The advantages and disadvantages of having a puppy and bringing up a dog in a tiny space while trying to work. But that's another game. Let's talk about money.
Money, money.
Money, money, money.
Cut to ABBA.
That was our own rendition before YouTube puts a creative license
block on it.
Thank you, YouTube. So we get asked, and even if we try and dodge the question of what do you do, because we had it recently, and I tried to kind of meander around it because
it's not important.
It's not
relevant.
important.
Doesn't affect them.
No, but people are so determined to know where people have got their money from, if they have lots of money, or they appear to have money. They think they don't have to work, or they don't see how they work, but they're quite. They go on. So we answer that question in a very generic way. We also found before we left for Europe, and we would talk to people about our future plans of, well, we want to go to Europe and
live in a van,
nomadically look around there for a bit. Even though we'd been living in a van for over a year and a half in the UK, suddenly if you say you're going to Europe, the question is, oh, are you going to do fruit picking? And in my head the dialogue goes, I'm in my mid-30s now.
No, I'm not going to do fruit picking.
Fruit picking isn't for me.
Not in that nice white shirt, anyway.
Not in this white shirt. And I'm not dissing on fruit picking. All jobs and any income of money is totally valid, but it's just the generic way that a lot of people see how to make money is becoming less and less relevant. We work via the internet now. Izzy you make your jewellery and sell it via the internet. Although we're keen to find some local markets when we're in smaller villages to kind of set up, and towns, to set up a store for a day and see how that plays out. That would be fun. Markets are always a good place to meet people.
I think from the looks of it, there's quite a few cool hippie markets down in Portugal.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. Find some. We've got to be aware of the security, though, I think.
Have it on a cloth, so if anyone comes along, I can just wrap it up and sling it over my shoulder.
Like the police, you mean? Like if you're selling your fake watches.
Oh,
do you like a watch? So people say, are you doing the fruit picking? No, we work via the internet.
Because we can.
Because we can. That's how it's evolved. We're quite isolated where we are, yet we're still tapping into a global market.
Talking to everyone here.
And talking to everyone here.
Spooky.
Yeah. So we do work. I think I'm still a workaholic. I still work every day.
That's just who you are, though.
That's in the blood. Definitely in the blood.
Yeah.
And because a lot of people are assuming we have money or trust funds or something like that because of how our lifestyle is perceived on Instagram and the such like.
Yeah. I think there's a comment on one of our YouTube videos. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's someone, and they don't go off on one, but it's like, oh, I love the idea of that lifestyle, or I love your van conversion. I couldn't do it though because I'm not middle class.
We've had more than one comment referencing to middle class. Now, we don't have regional accents, so I'm assuming that's their reference point. Negating the whole concept, irrelevant concept of class, because it's much like country borders. It just doesn't exist as an idea. It's a human idea which people seem to like chuck other people into, and we still work. Now, it doesn't matter if you have to work or you don't have to work. Everybody's situation is totally different. But both of us worked full time to make this van, put money into this van and build it. And
in jobs we didn't like.
Not totally hated though.
Not totally hated, but
they weren't 100% for us, but they were fine. You know, they did us well for that period of time. But our point is, you can work nomadically, and a lot of people say, I don't have skill sets to work via the internet. I work with my hands. Well, I worked with my hands up to a few years ago.
I work with my hand now.
You do now, making your jewellery. But if you're dedicated and push yourself hard enough, and this will take a few years, it's taken me a couple of years to kind of convert, but purposefully long-term think about what we wanted to do. I managed to move it over to being online. Now, we're not making a fortune.
No.
But
one day, time next year.
This time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires.
That'd be nice. Nah.
It's irrelevant. The point is, we live our life according to how much money we have. So, for example, if we made £100 in a month, that's fine. We can live on that.
Yeah.
It would be a push, but we could live on that. It would mean we just travel around less. We use less fuel. That's our biggest outgoing.
And we only have pasta twice a day.
Instead of 5 times as per our usual 3-course meals. So living in this way allows you that opportunity to develop your skills, to do online work, and it allows you that period of time to evolve yourself out of what you're doing or into a slight variation of what you're currently doing.
As you kind of mentioned a minute ago, it's definitely not an overnight process.
It's not.
You need to develop yourself because it's, even if you have that skill, you then need to develop some kind of business or branding of yourself to do with that, to actually profitize that and sell that skill.
Or prove yourself and then be able to sell your services to other people.
Yeah.
And it's never going to be in one pie. I've talked about it in the digital nomad video I did, about having 2 or 3 ideas at the beginning and pushing those simultaneously, because if one bites, well, you can kind of direct more energy into that. We've got the We Ain't No Hippies thing, we've got the Diamonds and Rust jewellery. I do my work online, which is more than one thing as well. So we're doing multiple things. You've got to get out of that 9 to 5, one job, one income mentality. Also drop the idea of having the same amount of money coming in every month.
Oh yeah, no. You might 1 month, but the next 5 months it could be all over the place.
Fluctuating up and down, most certainly. So it's just about changing your understanding and idea of what you have and how you use it.
And not getting disheartened if it doesn't pick up immediately. Because I've been up and down with my jewellery like that. You know, because I put so much heart and soul into what I make. For a while, when I had a bit of a lull, before Christmas, I think there was one day I said to you, I was like, oh, no one's buying stuff, like what's going on, like I don't think I'm good enough, no one likes what I'm making. The next day I got a pretty good commission, and then from then it was just like,
I think there were three or four orders in that period, and that was
of just custom commission work. I then had just other general orders coming through, which was great. So yeah, you just gotta just don't get disheartened if it seems to not really be picking up, or if it has been really good and then it seems to lull, because like we were just saying, it's up and down.
But that was it's 2 years. That point then was over 2 years after you started.
Yeah, and it's all been a learning curve. I mean, 2 years ago when I started it, I could just about make what I would look at now and be like, that's a bit crap kind of ring.
But not just your product that you're selling, but it's also how you sell it, who you market it to, etc. And although you might find something that works right now, let's say a particular stylized ring will sell really well for 6 months, then it might never sell well again.
Yeah.
You know, that success is not always constant. You've always got to be, and you can't assume it's always going to be constant.
Yeah.
You've got to always be experimenting with other things. Sure, put extra energy into that one thing, but don't abandon everything else. Keep experimenting, keep trying, and keep being creative with it.
It's like this handlebar. I made some really cool motorbike handlebar necklaces.
They were cool.
You know, sterling silver. Like they were just well, we both thought like, yeah, they're really cool. They'll sell. I think I sold 5 or 6 of them. Yeah. And then I made a little motorbike helmet one, and they went like hotcakes. Yeah. People loved them. And you can just never predict. So you've just got to come up with loads of ideas, like you were saying, put them out, see what people like. You've always got to forget about what you like and get over yourself in that respect.
You do have to get over yourself.
Yeah, I had to do that.
But that's all right. That's quite normal. You learned quicker than I in that respect. It probably took me 4 or 5 years to get over myself on, well, I don't like it. Why the heck should anyone else like it? And once you kind of open up your spectrum of, well, go with where the energy is, go with where people's attention are going. As soon as you follow that trend, the path just keeps going. It really is easy to follow that line. So I'd say you're using Squarespace to sell your stuff online.
Yeah, which it's really easy to navigate on the laptop, but also because I use my phone for most of my e-commerce and selling stuff. I mean, I use Instagram as my main platform for it.
For selling, getting attention.
For selling and interacting with people. Squarespace has fantastic apps that you can do all your orders through. You can, I don't think you can actually upload product through it, because that is a more detailed thing, which you do need to do on the laptop because of the positioning of the photos and things. But you can manage the orders through it. You can do all the postage and bits and pieces, and send someone an email saying your order's on the way with a tracking number. Yeah. You can adjust inventory, and you can also monitor trends of people from what countries are looking at your website, and
all the stats.
That business, all the stats.
Which is the important thing to follow, even on Instagram, to see what people are picking up on individual posts, on what they like of your stuff.
Which when we looked at our Instagram stats the other day, we were really pleased to see it's a 50-50 split between men and women.
Good.
Of people following us, which is very nice.
That's probably because you're not doing any bum shots, van life, butt shots. Maybe I'll do a butt shot and we'll see how that split goes.
Let's hear the split.
Maybe we won't actually. I don't want to know. So, well, that was podcast number 2. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in 1 week. Ciao.